on TV at CSpire.com and or Channel 70, as well as CSpire TV, is the one and only Jeff Cook. Good morning, Jeff. How are you, sir? Product manager at CSpire. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Paul. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me.
You got it. Listen, there was a lot of hullabaloo about this. There seemed to be a kind of an unusual alert with more importance than we've seen in a while from Apple that warned about some serious security vulnerabilities for anybody using iPhones and I think the iPads and the Macs. And it was the seriousness of the warnings that caught everybody's attention enough to cause people to act on this thing, that you had some pretty bad actors out there or attackers that could potentially enable themselves to take complete control of your devices, which is a little bit scary. And my question is, in the Apple alert, it came with limited overview of the intruders. They didn't say much about that. They just said that the impersonators or the people would be impersonating the device's owner, subsequently run any software in their name. And, Jeff, my question was, is it possible for them to be so stealth that me as a user, I wouldn't even know they're in there? What's your thoughts on this, sir?
Yes, there are. That is the case. These type of vulnerabilities and exploits, it is possible to be 100% stealth. That's the concerning part. The good news is it's been patched. They don't even talk about these until they're patched and confirmed and fixed and everything. But up until now and until you upgrade your software, yes, there is a chance that your iPhone, Mac, or iPad could have been hacked, and there's no way for you to know what was happening. The targets usually are not the average person. As you can imagine, The targets are people that are, C-level executives, military, Congress people. Those would be the targets for something like this. It would be the most valuable. But to answer your question, no, there's really not a great way to know if your iPhone has been hacked.
And if you have been, what you're saying basically is if you have been attacked, and they're actually doing that now, after you change your security code, would that disable that?
No. So the way these work, usually there's an app on the phone. Usually you may have seen text messages come to you that you're like, I did not ask for this. It has a link in it. That's usually how the code is loaded through a web browser. It sends it to the phone, and then basically the phone is hacked after that. So the best thing to do is not open those links ever, because the average web page you browse to on your phone is not going to have these exploits hidden in the web code. It's going to be from an email or from a text message. It looks a little different. You're like, I'm not really sure about this. If you have that feeling, do not click that link.
But, Jeff, they've become so sophisticated, man. Sometimes they use the names of people within your office and elsewhere, and I'm not sure what the algorithm is they're using, but you have to be smart about it.
Yes, you said it, Paul. Like that is, they've gotten to where it's like, hey, and we've seen this, to where it's like, hey, it's the CEO. I need you to look at this or whatever, and then it's driven to try to make you click or be anxious or nervous. That's one of the most effective tricks. You've seen this with the IRS. Anything that can cause that panic and people to someone like, oh, I need to check this, that's a good indicator. But usually if something seems a little bit unusual, like getting a message from the CEO saying, hey, I need you to look at this, if it's not normal every day, and even if it is, you really have to be careful opening attachments, opening things that just seem a little bit off. You just kind of be on alert a little bit. Yeah.
Did Jeff Cook is the product manager at CSpire. Jeff, did you say that this is they're attacking private and commercial, or it doesn't really matter?
Yes, it could be both. There are ways for commercial companies to have what's called a mobile device management system that forces your iPhones to upgrade. The average end user would have to do it manually. It just so happens, coincidentally, take this for what it's worth, Apple introduced a rapid security response in this year in May at their Worldwide Developer Conference. It's coming out supposedly later this year with the new iOS 16. So about a month or so before that comes out, there's a threat that says, this is important. And what does that rapid response do? It's something that basically pushes out very important emergency security updates automatically, so that you don't have to take manual action. And that's part of iOS 16 that's coming out. So we're, based on Apple's schedule in the past, they normally look at September or October. I don't have that information, but that's based on previous years, that they would come out with that new update, and that's called Rapid Security Response.
Was there any indication from this, and I know there's limited info on this, whether it was financial, ransom, extortion, disruption, what the reasons behind this was?
There were no specifics, but based on this type of vulnerability, it would absolutely be financial. Stealing financial information would be the most profitable thing to do, and you could do that across the board and see what kind of shows up. That's what happens a lot when credit cards are exploited. And then the other target. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
The other target would be politicians or C-level executives.
I got it. Which phones or which generation of phones is this? How far back does this go?
Great question. So iPhone 6S and above, that means iPhone 6S, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 are all vulnerable, and those need to be updated to iPhone iOS 15.6.1. And that's in your iPhone now. If you go to settings and software update, you can update it now. But
Jeff,
it just goes. One last point on that, Paul, is that iPhone 6S and 7 will be depreciated as of next month. So if you have an iPhone 6S or 7, you need to upgrade to a newer iPhone or an Android if you want to maintain security on your phone. Those phones will no longer be secure.
I was going to say, what year was that on the 6? that's not a spring chicken anymore, is it?
No, it's at least 5 years old. So that's the good news. iPhones last about 5 years. Even though they're expensive, they last about 5 years.
I was thinking, if you do the automatic updates, you're not taken care of until you change your security code and change your password, or?
No, it's really the software update. So great question, Paul. The software update and a restart of the iPhone. So these exploits live in the memory of your phone while it's running. And so one practice is to restart your iPhone at least weekly if you're nervous about this. So, yeah.
Have you heard of any confirmed attacks so far?
No.
Successful?
No, they not